and welcome back to today's video from Farmer Scoobs. It has been nearly 2 weeks now since we've had a video up. I'm just finding it hard just trying to get content together to get a video together for you guys to watch, because like small West of Ireland farm, there's not always a big variation happening, and it's just I want to have something different every time I come on. So in today's video I'm going to give you sort of a breakdown of what's been happening here over the last 2 weeks. It has been busy enough. We've had cows calving, we've been cutting timber, we've been bringing timber in, we've been getting stakes driven for the fence to go back up. But I'll just give you a quick look at where we're at, and I'll show you, because I don't actually remember exactly what you've seen has calved, but I'll give you a quick sneak peek now at our new additions. Our 243 heifer out of Caveland Finian, calved down. Shirley bull calf out of our stock bull that we offloaded last year, and we've named him Voodoo, his pedigree name. Nice bull calf, serious neck on him. He's going to make a good shape of a bull. Our two heifers that was in calf to our limousine bull round in the back shed, calved down. Two heifer calves, the red whitehead and a little black whitehead. Two nice small little calves, but they calved down all on their own, and that's what you want. So I'm just going to bring you over here and I'm going to give you a quick look at our animals that we've brought into our half door shed. I'm just trying to remember what cows we have in here. So we have 231 up here at the back. This lady here, she was the first one to calve down. She had a heifer calf. She came here in calf to Caveland Finian, the one 243 that's next door that had our bull calf Voodoo. So we've quite a family of them now. We have her, which will be the mother, 243, which is the daughter. This bull calf Voodoo will be her grandson. The bull winning on the slats will be her grandson also. And then they link up with cousins and so on and so forth with the calves that's here. So it's a bit of a family tree there for them ones. So we have 734 here, bivouac cow. She calved down a lovely cracking heifer calf as well in there. So the names of them two is Valentine, is that one up there. You remember back we named her, and my wife picked quite a funny name for this lady, Veruca. I suppose, look at name is name, at least they got a name. They have to be named for the pedigree registered cert. So we'll move on up. I'll give you a look at the yard now and show you. We've quite a bit of traffic around here today now, because there was a party on here in the house over the weekend, sister's 40th. So I'll just give you a quick sneak peek in here. Where's this? This lad is back in here. He's out of our limousine bull as well, that was round in the back shed. He's happy out. Now they'll have comrades in there tomorrow. The two black whiteheads that's down, this calf with the two limousine heifer calves, they'll be coming up here tomorrow, as well as I'm going to try 243 to bring her up here as well and see if they'll fit in together, because 243 and 231, I know they're mother and daughter, they don't get on too well, and I don't want to put them into a shed, because this particular shed that they're in isn't as big as this one up here, and I probably should have at the time had the Charlie cows put next door and vice versa, but this is the way it has landed. I can always put 115 in here when she calves. She'll be calved within inside the next week. She'll probably end up going up in here with these two, which is fine because it'll all work out anyway. But it'll just be nice to have them, that they're not fighting and arguing, because when I put 734 and 231, I'm rhyming off a load of tag numbers. It's just because I know them. But when I put them in there together, I had to let them back out into the yard because they started giving themselves a few nudges into the stomach, and then when they finally settled in, then they started taking it out in the calves, and you just don't want to see 231 actually tumbled 734's calf upside down in the thing. I thought she was busted. I had to go in and get her up because she was lying on top of her, or lying on her back on a lump of straw, so she was stuck. But you don't want to see that happening. So we try best can to just, I suppose, overpinning them together to make sure that they get along alright, because you don't want to see the calves getting hurt. Touch wood. I have nothing. Oh, touch wood. Touch wood. We've loads of wood. Loads of wood. I'll show you all these bags. This is from the trees that we had up the front of the house. As you can see, I have been quite busy cutting and bagging trees into rings. We've stacked them here because they need to be split, but at least we can do a bag by bag, split them and pop them into the shed, and that is what the plan is going to be going forward. And look at, we'll set up our log splitter and we'll bring a bag over beside it on the front loader of the tractor, and we can keep it small but elevated off the ground so we're not bending down. Lift the log out onto our log splitter, split it and pile it into the corner. It'll be either there or we have started another pile here. I have said before, I suppose, we haven't got, when you're here on a daily and you're trying to chop and change between feeding cows or cleaning out sheds or I suppose trying to cut up timber, there's always that time where you don't find the day passing by and you lose track of time. I've got a cow here that's smelling my phone as well. And it's just difficult to find time to do everything, so we're just doing bit by bit. We spend a couple of hours one day doing one job, then we can chop and change over to something else the next day. But that's what it means when you're at this sort of work, when you're in this line of work as a farmer. That's the way you have to. That's the way it rolls. You just do what you can when you can, and you just get on with it. Now there is an awful chunk of wood that is left over. I'll see if I can show it to you here. Chunks of wood that we didn't get bagged up because these things are absolutely humongous. That is my hand there on a piece of timber that's probably around nearly 3 foot wide. But as you can see here, there's a big difference between what it was. I'll put in a photograph here of what it was looking like when the trees came down. To what it is now. We've managed to get our stakes driven. Don't mind there's a couple of height differences on some of them, but underneath where them stakes went down there's rock, so we drove them as far as we could without breaking them or snapping them off. The field is a small bit worse for wear, but if that gets a couple of days drying, we're going to run on it with the mini digger, roll in some of the tracks, and then once it dries out properly we'll be able to give it a roll with the tractor roller. It's not too bad, it's mostly just coming in and out the gate, but I'm not too panicked about it as of now. It'll clean up well. So we managed to get rid of the rubbish that was up there as well. So bit of fun for the kiddies. You can see one of them coming down the slide there now. Tree that came down from behind the sheds. I'm just trying to cross over without falling. This thing, excuse me, I have a bit of a cough as well. At the widest point is easily 3 foot wide. Easily 3 foot wide. It'll be a job for both sides of the saw. But there's maybe where are we? 15 feet of it there's going to be some serious rings off, and everything else then is under the foot, around foot 12 inches, 10 to 12 inches. So that'll be our next one to have a crack at. And then we have another one here. It'll be nice little rings off that one. And we've a couple more out the outside down here. We've quite a bit of timber yet to go, but I'm not panicked yet. I've gotten the main ones shifted. Now, we took two here. We took the one that our gate post was on down, and we took another one that was lying over into the field down, and we should have taken this one here as well. If it did fall this way towards the shed, it wasn't going to reach it. If it falls that way, it's not going to damage anything. If it falls out either sides into the fields, it's not going to damage anything. So we decided just to leave it be, and if it falls over time, so be it. But we might have enough firewood because there's another tree down the back of the house. There's another one further down the field as well that's down. There's one up where our silage bales is stacked, so we have quite a bit of trees yet to chop up. There's another donkey of a trunk on this one, and no more than that one that's down there. There's a big donkey of a trunk on that one too. So by the time we get all cut up and all bagged up and split, we should be well on into the summer months anyway. But our next job will be, I suppose, going into next week, Happy St. Patrick's Day, by the way. Today's St. Patrick's Day. Tomorrow's a bank holiday. So tomorrow's job, we will be rearranging some of the stock round from house to house. That will be the number one job. And then moving on through the rest of the week, I'm going to find if I can get a couple of round bales of straw to have them got. And then we are looking at fertilizer. We got our first of our fertilizer prices this year, so we're looking like, I don't know, but we might be going with some 18612S and some nitrogen, because we are going to leave our slurry for our second cut silage. We have enough room in the tank set for our wedding. We've about 2 foot in one and roughly 2 foot, maybe 2.5 foot in another. So we might just hold off yet on the slurry situation just for now, and just go with nitrogen for the first cut. We will be trying to make as much hay as possible this year. Hay will be a vital commodity, I think. Coming into this year, hay was very expensive this year. I think 50 euros for a round bale. I was finding them on Dundee. Silage, we have an awful lot of silage left over, so that's why I'm kind of particular. We might just crack on and make as much hay as possible, because we can sell the hay, we can use the hay as well, but we can also sell it and try and make a few quid off that. Another way for a small West of Ireland suckler farmer to try and make a few quid. I'm caught up at the minute with a small bit of a head cold and a cough. You can hear me snuffling, I do apologise. Not much I can do. So I'm going to head back into the yard and just take one final look around and give you the last of the update. That is pretty much where we're at. As you can see, my bale plastic is still there. Just no time to do it. So that is my plan for the week. So like I said, tomorrow we are going to be rooming up 2 black white heifers that's below the shed with the heifer calves. We'll be coming in with this lady and hopefully 243. Our pedigree Shirley, if they can get on like a house on fire. If they do, good and well, and if not, we'll just have to rearrange it again. I have notions of this shed over here as a spare shed. It's now empty just for our silage more just to come out of it. There's a drinking trough in there. I only have to put a gate across in front of it and a ring feeder, and we could always use that shed also. And I suppose just with getting stuff on record, I suppose the last week to 2 weeks, with the cutting of the timber and the cows calving and feeding cows and chopping and changing and bagging timber, I just haven't had a whole pile of time just to throw on a camera and record it. And then even if I did get anything on record, finding time to edit it, because by the time you have used the chainsaw for 3 or 4 hours in a day and bagged up what you've cut for the 3 or 4 hours, and you've brought into the yard, and then you have cows fed, I tell you one thing, I put in a couple of days there where I was just glad to be getting to the bed. Do you know, I haven't had them sort of hard days in a long time. But you know what? That's what it's all about. It's enjoyment and getting out in the fresh air. It's good for your own head. It's good for your own mind. And you can't ask for anything more. As jobs go, people might laugh at us and think, sure, who wants to be a farmer? I do. I love being a farmer. I love being out in the fresh air when the weather's good and tipping about and doing my own things. I can come and go as I please, and that's the way I like it. So we leave it at that today, guys, and I'm hoping to have a more regular update for you going forward from now on, because look, at springtime is in full swing and we should be getting out and doing a lot more work from now on. Hopefully the weather will be picking up and the fields will be drying out, and we leave it at that. As always, guys, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and we shall catch you in the next one.
You should have the beacons on. It's a necessity.